It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, it is a Monday. That means it is a Metal Monday here on the channel. And for the first time in quite a long time, I am listening to music from Blind Guardian today. And I'm happy that you are with me. So it was the summer of 2021 before we started our Patreon. When I first listened to Blind Guardian on the channel, it was episode 170, and we heard And Then There Was Silence. And I remember really liking it, but for some reason, I haven't returned to these guys, and it was suggested recently that I do this. And so that is what I am up to today. I'm happy that you're along for the ride. I am returning to the music of this German power metal band, and they're going to be performing two songs live at Wacken in the very northern part of the country. I've seen other bands performing at this venue in previous videos, and they always look and sound great. And so I'm really interested to hear these songs. For the first time, it's going to be the Bard's Song and Valhalla. And they're from different albums, but they're performed back to back in this live offering of the band. And I'm ready to hear it, y'all. Let's get into it. This performance took place in August of 2016. And they performed first this song called The Bard's Song, which in parentheses is subtitled In the Forest. So this originally appeared on their fourth album, Somewhere Far Beyond, released in 1992. And on that album, there are two songs called The Bard's Song. One of them is subtitled In the Forest. That's the one we're going to listen to. The other one is subtitled The Hobbit. And I know something a little bit about The Hobbit, right? So let's talk about the bard, the term itself. It is a term that refers to someone who traditionally is known as a storyteller, right? Especially one that recites either poems or epics or tells story in the oral tradition of storytelling. We have come to call Shakespeare the bard, right? Or the Bard of Avon, because he was so historically good at telling stories. So with these two bards' songs, as well as their songs that are based in literature or mythology, across their discography, the band themselves became known as the Bards. And likewise, their fans became known as Bards. And I think it's just really fun to be known as we're the people who tell musical stories. Come hear a show, you know? So I read that the Bard's song about the Hobbit, that's obviously based on Tolkien's The Hobbit, right? And in the forest, the one that we're going to hear today is inspired by a computer game from the mid 1980s called The Bard's Tale. And it was a fantasy role playing game that was created for the Apple II computer. Now, you can tell by my gray hair that I am old enough to remember the Apple II computers. I think we had an Apple II GS in our home, and it was really expensive, as I remember. But I remember having those old little green screen Apple computers, right, in school back in the day. And I never heard about this game, but it's taken off, and it's inspired a whole lot of other media and stories and stuff. And I think it's still around. It's been redone for more newer platforms. But yeah, this is originally based on a computer game. Really interesting, right? So in this live video, we're going to first hear them singing the Bard's song. We're also going to hear them sing the song Valhalla. And that particular song originally appeared on their second album, which is called Follow the Blind. And it was it was released in 1989. So both of these songs that we're going to hear come from the earlier portion of the band's discography, but different albums. And I'm looking forward to hearing it. Y'all, we've got Hansi Kirsch on lead vocals. Andre Olbrich is on lead guitar and backing vocals. Marcus Siepen is on rhythm guitar and backing vocals. I think that Berend Corbois is on the bass and backing vocals. And Frederick Emke is on the drums and percussion. It was a little difficult to see who the actual players were in this iteration in 2016 of the band, but I think those are the guys that are playing for us today. So let's get to it, y'all. Let's start this off. This is all in one video. I may stop it in the middle to talk about the first song before they go on to the second one, but I'm very interested to return to Blind Guardian, and we're going to be hearing the Bard's song and Valhalla. Off we go.
Wacken.
Soak it up, dude.
Ich würde euch auch noch gerne länger schreien lassen. Wir haben leider nur noch wenig Zeit.
Oh boy.
Die wollen wir
My
natürlich
German vocabulary
mit
is
Musik
rusty,
verbringen. Ich glaube, die meisten
and
von
that's
euch
being
werden
polite.
wissen, was jetzt als nächstes kommt.
And this doesn't have the option for subtitles.
War schon ums ein oder andere Mal legendär hier. Ich habe so das Gefühl, dass ihr dem heute die Krone aufsetzen werdet. Let's sing the Bard song.
Let's sing the Bard song. That I got. I like the acoustic nature of this. And everyone is joining in. In a world far away, we may meet again, but now hear my song about the dawn of the night. Let's sing the Bard song. Tomorrow will take us away, far from home. Wow, no one will ever know our names. Take it, crowd. But the Bard's song will remain.
Tomorrow will take it away, the fear of today, it will be gone due to our magic song.
The fear of today will be gone due to our magic songs. So, don't rush, crowd. Come on. I don't know how they keep their tempo with all of those claps just happening.
There's only one song in my mind.
I love that everybody knows the words to this, and it's in English.
Now the Bard songs are over, and it's time to leave. Who tells the story?
So back to this chorus.
But the Bard songs will remain. Tomorrow
Tomorrow all will be known and you are not alone. So don't be afraid. In the dark and cold.
'Cause the Bard songs will.
Relative major? Back to the minor. They're in G sharp minor. May, re, do, G sharp minor. Okay. That's the end of that one. I am going to stop that there. That is not metal, friends. It's a Metal Monday. I think that the next song will be a little more metal, but that was an acoustic ballad that I was not expecting. And I very much enjoyed it. I don't mind hearing songs for the first time, or that are not the studio version. A lot of I mean, I go back and forth with this, y'all. The first time, should I hear what they did in the studio, or is it okay just to see how they present it in a concert? Either way, if I like it, I'll keep listening to it, and I'll listen to the other ones. So which one is first, it doesn't really matter to me. But this live version was specifically suggested, and I think it's just a wonderful thing. Think of all of the people in this crowd, and they're joining together and they're singing along. When people are singing together, they're not fighting. And it's a good thing. And the magical musical songs can help to do that, right? It's a lovely bit of poetry. The chorus, tomorrow will take us away far from home. No one will ever know our names, but the bard's songs will remain. Tomorrow will take it away. The fear of today, it will be gone due to our magic songs. Meaning we are temporary, but songs and stories and the stories, the narratives that we tell, those stick. And they would know. I went through and read through a bunch of their discography and songs as I read in today, and I got off topic because I was just noticing just how many of their songs are based on literature and movies and mythology and stories. It's really fascinating, y'all. There is an account here that I read about that the lead singer offers about this song. He says, I think it was very closely related to the time-traveling bard on this album, Somewhere Far Beyond, and about the approach of the great music of musicians which passed away over the years. Bands which vanished without having any real recognition, but I always felt their geology and energy still lives through their music. That's what the lyrics and this song are about, not so much ourselves. At that point, we had a strong feeling that Blind Guardian would become a successful band, but it was about music in general and the necessity of musicians doing what they have always done, entertaining people when they don't have the biggest of successes, but being important nonetheless. I love these guys. I really love these guys. I can really dig that point of view. And this song has obviously become one of their most beloved songs. I read accounts of how at many of their live shows, this song is looked forward to by both the band and the crowd, and usually the crowd is energetically singing along, and that's what we found today. Awesome stuff. I'm going to get back to the video. The next song is called Valhalla, and it's about Valhalla. I mean, come on. I don't think that the mythological Valhalla should need a whole lot of introduction. But in Norse mythology, right, it's the place, it's the banquet hall, it's the palace, the splendid place in Asgard where warriors go after they die. And in this song, we're going to hear about a wizard who is, I think, upset at the people around him, the people near him, for what he senses as a moving away from believing in this Norse mythology. And he wants to be the leader. He wants to be the one who helps return his people and their beliefs to the gods. And we're going to hear what he thinks and what he wants to do. This originally was on their second album, and it featured a guest vocal from Kai Hansen, who is with Gamma Ray and Halloween. I have heard some of him before, but I don't think that he's with the band for this one. So let's get into it, y'all. This is going to be Valhalla, and it is live at Wacken. Here we go. Okay. What a venue.
You're fucking crazy!
That's a little bit of a different energy.
Ich traue mich kaum zu sagen, ihr seid noch geiler als sonst! Wir oben hatten eine super Zeit. Wir sind immer gerne nach Wacken gekommen. Irgendwann ist es Zeit weiterzuziehen. Die Zeit ist jetzt gekommen. Wir sehen uns irgendwo. Let's get crazy for a last time! Let's lock up the gates of Valhalla!
He's got a powerful stage presence. He knows exactly what he's doing. Okay. This is metal.
High in the sky, where eagles fly, more gray the dawn. That's us the crowd. Open wide the gates, friend. The king will come through. The heart that prays, the highest Lord who brings the dawn. The city dawn in the palace of steel. Pursuate the fate of everyone. The chaos can begin.
There's the 5.
So many centuries, so many gods. We were the prisoners of our own fantasy. But now we are marching against these gods.
I love his voice.
The wizard, I will change it all.
Against these gods, I'm the wizard. I will change it all. A whole bunch of double kick.
Deliverance, what you ever forgot to me. Deliverance, what you ever forgot.
Why have you ever forgotten me?
Deliverance, what you ever forgot to me.
They moved keys.
Deliverance, what you ever forgot to me. Deliverance, what you ever forgot to me. Deliverance, what you ever
Flat 7,
forgot to me.
flat 6, 1.
Yes, in me.
Goes into compound meter.
So many centuries, so
It's great, y'all. I don't mind the double kick when it's not the loudest thing in the mix. You know, it's not hitting me over the head. You know, the crowd obviously knows the music backwards and forwards. And they are an active participant in these songs. It's the mark of a great live band.
Klingt geil. Ich finde, Magnus hat genug gearbeitet. Wir können jetzt Frederik ins Spiel bringen. Dafür solltet ihr ein wenig lauter singen.
Deliverance, why have you ever forgotten me?
Mega. Die letzten drei. Jetzt hat Fegt das von der Bühne. Deliverance, what you ever forgot to me, Valhalla. Deliverance, what you ever forgot to me, oh Lord.
I'm a big fan, especially of the lead singer.
We love y'all.
He's got a great voice for this style of music.
Have a good night.
Really, really great. And he knows how to handle the crowd. Fucking TV. That was cool, y'all. So we get the Bard song, and then we get Valhalla. Yeah. I mean, obviously a metal band, but their sensibility isn't confined to playing loud and fast, you know, or really heavy or really in your face. They're about their art, their storytelling, and they use this form of music to deliver it, but they're not bound by it. So they can use those acoustic ideas. They can use these breakdowns. They can do this speed metal thing that they were doing and then make it halftime and let the audience just sing along for a bit. It really works. And they're considered like one of these like big four power metal bands, especially in Europe, and they're largely unknown to me. So I'll definitely get back to more of these guys in future episodes. Like I was saying earlier, I was looking through the band's discography and their songs, and they're still active, y'all. Their most recent album is from 2022, so they're still going. And I started looking at these titles and lyrics and texts and some things that were written about these, and it just really jumped out at me just how much this band relies on literature, on stage plays, on movies, on mythology, on science fiction as sources of material for them to write their songs. They truly are bards, y'all, because it seems that most of their songs are written specifically to tell stories or to relate to stories that most of us hopefully know, and that's what they use. I mean, just a little bit of looking reveals songs inspired by the works of Arthur Miller, Hans Christian Andersen, Neil Gaiman, Battlestar Galactica, The Story of Jesus, Homer's Iliad, Homer's Odyssey, Middle Earth from Tolkien, Frank Herbert's Dune. We've get some works by Stephen King in there. The movie E.T. is in there. Of course, we get the mythological Valhalla that we heard about today, where I think that the protagonist of the song, the wizard, was upset at the move away from the older Norse pagan religion and mythology to the newer Christianity. And I think that was kind of going on behind the scenes. But either way, he wanted to get the people back to believing in Asgard and all of the Norse mythology. And it's a really interesting point of view to include in a song. And it came off great. I really enjoyed these guys, y'all. So what next? They've got a bunch of albums and a bunch of songs. What are the ones that come to the top of the list for you? Let me know, and I will try to get back to these guys before too long. But I think that is going to be it for me today. This has been fun. We've heard the Bard's song, which is subtitled In the Forest, and then the big metal tune, Valhalla, from Blind Guardian. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.